Alright class, today I will be teaching you how to complete the square, and let's just go through the process with me. Alright, completing the square means that you're transforming from a standard quadratic form into this form here. So this form here is called turning point form. And why is that so? I'll explain to you in a bit. Alright, in order for you to complete the square, there's some formula that you need to remember, the perfect square formula. If you got a plus b squared altogether square, you'll have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. We're gonna need this formula. A minus b altogether square would be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. You need to remember this by heart. We're gonna use this. Let's say that Miss Ma have x squared minus ax. Alright, this is my general form. We got x squared minus ax. Miss Ma going to complete this square now. So in order for me to complete this square, I have to get the formula of perfect square. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now whatever variable under the power of 2 will be a. So there's only x here. X gonna be my a, so x squared minus ax. So I will rewrite it as x squared. I'm gonna follow exactly this formula. Minus 2 times with x, times with a is x, times with b. Now I need to look for b. So b will be any numbers multiplied with 2 to get a. So a divided by 2 is 4. So 4 is your answer as for b. Plus with b squared. Now after this, we got x squared minus with ax. We need to borrow b squared, which is 4 to the power of 2. After you borrow this, then you have to subtract. We don't change anything. We just borrow to make it a perfect square, and then we subtract it. Now this whole part here, you can see that it matched with the perfect square. You're gonna rewrite. This is going to be equal to a minus b altogether to the power of 2. Yeah? So when I have x minus 4 altogether to the power of 2, and then minus 16. This is, you are done completing the square. Now, why do I have to complete the square? If you have a look at the graph here, this is the graph for x squared minus ax. You'll see that the turning point is actually equal to 4 and negative 16. When you look at this form here, this is the formula. H and K is actually H and K. Your turning point is H and K. Remember there's a subtraction, there's a negative sign in front of it. So your turning point here will be 4 and negative 16. Now, we're not focusing on looking for the turning point at the moment. I'm just explaining to you that in why as to why we are doing this. Okay, so sometimes we're completing the square to factorize. Sometimes it helps us with graphing as we graph it out. If I just write x squared minus ax, I wouldn't know what is the turning point is going to be. So if I complete the square, I would know that the turning point will be at 4 and negative 16. That is the importance of completing the square. Now we have multiple questions. Let Ms. Ma go through some of it so that you can get familiar with the content. Alright, let's say that I have x squared. Let's say that Ms. Ma have, let me work on this, x squared plus with 14x, let's say. Let's say you have this. Alright, now in order for Miss Ma to work out, to complete the square, I need to know it's going to be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. It's in this form, perfect square. Now I'm going to follow exactly like this form. I'm going to follow x squared, x is going to be my a, plus with 2 times with a is x, times with, now we need to look for b. b going to be equal to 14 divided by 2, which is 7. Now do you see that you got 7 times 2 equal to 14x? You need to complete the square. This is complete means what? You put in a b squared, which is 7 squared, and then you subtract. So far you haven't changed anything. This whole part here is your perfect square if you match it. So you got x is your a, plus b is 7 to the power of 2, then you're left out with negative 49. Yeah? Let me give you some example to work on, and maybe you can pause the video right now and then work on some of the questions. Maybe Miss Mark gonna give you some questions to do. Alright, let's say that you're gonna work on these. X squared plus 7, no, not plus 7, plus 2x, something like this. X squared plus 12x, x squared plus 6x, something like this. Work it out. Maybe I will put the solutions down the comments. Alright, now let's say if you have another 3 terms. Let's say if you have 3 terms, x squared plus with minus 10x. I got my nose there, minus 10x plus with 30. Alright, let's say if we got the third term here, same process, nothing changed. We're gonna follow exactly the perfect square formula. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you have 2 terms or 3 terms, same process apply. So first thing first, we know that this is going to be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Yeah? So a going to be your x. Miss Mark gonna rewrite it x squared minus with, follow the perfect square rule. 2 times with a, which is x, and then times with the number, multiply with 2 to get 10. We're going to have 5 as your b, so you found your b here. Alright, and then plus b squared. Now b squared will be 5 squared. As you plus 5 squared, you have to subtract 5 squared. Yeah, you borrow and then you subtract, you return, and then plus 30. Because 30 is the term that we haven't touched it yet. Now, from here to here is your perfect square, right? Miss Mark gonna write x minus with 5. Why is it 5? Because this is a minus b all together to power 2. This is the perfect square form. So b is number 5. I'm gonna put it there. Minus with 25 plus 30. Now we just need to simplify this part. Minus negative 25 plus 30, you have positive 5, and just rewrite this. You have already completed the square. Yeah? Alright, so I'm gonna work on a few more examples with you. Now I want to write down the questions on the board. I want you to pause the video and work on the questions before I give you out the answer. Okay? Alright, let's just work on these questions. Let's say complete the square of x squared minus 18x plus 77. Yeah? Okay. Pause the video then come back after you're done. Alright, first thing first, we're gonna follow the formula a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. I'm gonna do x is my a, so x squared minus 2 times x times b is a number multiplied with 2 to get 18, which is 9. So what you can do is 18 divided by 2 to get 9. Plus b squared is 9 squared. You borrow and then you have to subtract. You have to return it. Plus 77. Okay. Now from here you get a perfect square. X minus 9 to the power 2 And then here you got a negative 9 to the power 2 plus 77. What do we have? Minus 81 plus 77. What do we have as the answer? So x minus 9 to the power 2 minus with 4. Yeah? Okay. Now let's just work on another example and then I can pause the video there. Okay, how about one more? X squared plus 11x plus 10. X squared plus 11x plus 10. Now you can see that the middle term, the middle coefficient of x is not an even number, so it's gonna leave you with fraction. Alright, have a look closely. I'm gonna follow exactly formula: a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. So a is my x squared plus follow 2 times with a is x times with b. Now b will be a numbers that multiply with 2 to get 11. So in another way, you can get 11 divided by 2. Alright, now why is that? 11 divided by 2, and then you times with 2. Do you get 11 as well? So this number, b here, is actually equal to the middle coefficient, 18 divided by 2. It's going to be equal to 10 divided by 2, you get b. So it's exactly like this. This is just an odd number. So 11 divided by 2 is your b. Then plus 11 to the over 2 to the power of 2 as b squared. You minus this, you subtract this. Yeah? And then you're left with plus 10. Now I wrote this is because why in red? Because these that I just add in and subtract. I haven't changed anything. Alright, let's just complete the square. So these part here are my perfect square. So it's not going to have x plus 11 over 2 altogether to the power 2. And then minus with, alright, we got to extend this out. Minus 11, 121 over 4 plus 10. Alright, you've got to simplify this part. So far you complete the square already, but you just need to simplify that 40 over 4. So that will be equal to x plus 11 over 2 to the power 2 minus with now 121 over 4 plus with, you have to make them having the same denominator. So 40 over 4, you're going to have negative, so 20, 101, 81 over 4 as your answer. Yeah? Okay, so in the CAT you won't have something like fraction like this. But just so you know that it will work with fractions as well.